Have you ever noticed how every financial guru tells you to create multiple streams of income? Like, that's the secret. That's what separates the rich from everyone else. 7 income streams, 10 income streams, passive income flowing from everywhere. Here's what nobody tells you. Most people who try this end up broke, exhausted, and more stressed than when they started. Here at Simple Money, we've analyzed hundreds of people attempting to build multiple income streams, and I'm going to reveal something that might completely change how you think about making money. Because the advice isn't wrong, but the way everyone interprets it, that's the problem. And once you understand what's actually happening, you'll see why most people are building their financial house on sand. Here's what's really happening when someone hears about multiple streams of income. They're working their main job, maybe making $50,000 per year. It's fine, but they want more security, more freedom. So they hear this advice. Multiple streams of income. Rich people have 7 streams on average. And they think, okay, I need more streams, more sources of money coming in. So they start a side hustle. Maybe they drive for Uber on weekends. They start a drop shipping store. They create a course. They try affiliate marketing. They invest in dividend stocks. Suddenly, they're juggling 5 or 6 different things. They're working 60 hours per week. They're stressed. They're not sleeping. And here's the kicker. 6 months later, their total income has barely moved. They're making $52,000 instead of $50,000. A 4% increase for doubling their workload. What went wrong? Because here's what's interesting. When you look at actually wealthy people, they do have multiple streams of income. That part is true, but the streams aren't what you think they are. And more importantly, how those streams were built is completely different from what everyone's doing. Think about it this way. Imagine you're trying to water your garden. You could run around with 10 different watering cans, frantically trying to fill each one and water everything. Or you could install one solid irrigation system that waters everything automatically. Same goal, completely different approach. That's what's happening with income streams, and I'm about to show you exactly how this works. The first problem is what I call the fragmentation trap. Here's what most people do when they try to build multiple income streams. They split their attention across multiple unrelated things. Monday through Friday, they're an accountant. Weekends, they're driving for Uber. Evenings, they're trying to grow their dropshipping business. Early mornings, they're creating content for social media. None of these things connect to each other. None of them build on each other. And here's what makes this particularly destructive. Every single one of these income streams requires a different set of skills, different networks, different knowledge. You're basically trying to become 5 different people at once. Let me give you a specific example. Say your main job is software engineering. You spend 40 hours per week writing code. You're getting better at it, building expertise. Then, on the side, you decide to start a pressure washing business because you heard it's profitable. Now, does your software engineering experience help you pressure wash houses? No. Do your pressure washing clients help you get better software jobs? No. You've just fragmented your most valuable asset, your time and attention. Instead of becoming an expert software engineer who commands top dollar, you're now a mediocre software engineer and a mediocre pressure washer. And here's the cruel part. In both fields, the top 20% of people make 80% of the money. When you fragment your attention, you guarantee you'll never reach that top 20% in anything. The psychology behind this is fascinating. We think more activity equals more results. More streams equals more security. But that's not how skill development works. That's not how networks develop. That's not how expertise compounds. Mastery requires focused attention over time. When you split your focus, you prevent yourself from ever reaching the level where the real money is made. Here's what actually wealthy people do differently. Their multiple streams all flow from the same expertise. A successful real estate investor doesn't also drive Uber on weekends. They have rental income, fix and flip income, real estate consulting income, and maybe they teach others about real estate. 4 streams, all from the same core expertise. They're not fragmenting. They're multiplying the value of what they already know. The second problem is what I call the linear income delusion. This is where things get really interesting. Most people, when they think about multiple streams of income, they're thinking about multiple linear income sources. What does that mean? It means every dollar they make requires them to trade their time directly. Work an hour at your job, make $50. Drive Uber for an hour, make $25. Do a freelance gig, make $40 per hour. So if you want to double your income, you need to double your hours. Want to triple it? Triple your hours. But here's the problem. You only have 24 hours in a day. You can't scale linear income very far before you hit a wall. And that wall is exhausting. Now, here's what wealthy people understand that most people miss. They're not trying to create multiple linear income streams. They're trying to create one or two exponential income streams that then generate multiple passive outputs. Let me explain the difference. Linear income, you trade time for money. Every single dollar requires your presence. Exponential income, you build something once that generates money multiple times, or you create something that grows in value over time without requiring more of your time. Here's a concrete example. Person A decides they need multiple streams. So they work their day job, do freelance graphic design at night, sell handmade crafts on Etsy, and drive Uber on weekends. 4 income streams, all linear. Every dollar requires their time. Person B focuses on one thing. They become an exceptional graphic designer. They build a reputation. They raise their rates. Then they create templates and design systems that they can sell repeatedly. They also train junior designers who handle smaller clients while Person B takes a cut. They create an online course teaching their design process. Person B has 5 income streams, but only one requires their active time. The rest are passive outputs of their core expertise. Same number of streams, completely different structure. The psychology here is about delayed gratification. Linear income feels safe because you get paid immediately for your time. Exponential income requires building something up front with no guarantee. It's scary. It's uncertain. So most people default to adding more linear streams, which feels productive but actually traps them. The third principle is something I call the foundation fallacy. This is probably the most damaging misconception about multiple income streams. Here's what happens. People hear they need multiple streams for security, so they start building streams before they have a solid foundation. They're making $40,000 per year at their main job, barely covering expenses, no emergency fund, and they think, I need more income streams for security. So they start a side hustle. But because their foundation is weak, every little problem becomes a crisis. Their car breaks down, that's $1,200 they don't have, so they put it on a credit card. Now they're paying 18% interest on that $1,200. That's $216 per year in interest alone. Meanwhile, their side hustle is generating maybe an extra $2,000 per year, but it's taking 10 hours per week. Do the math. They're working 520 hours per year to net $1,784 after the interest they're paying. That's $3.42 per hour. They would have been better off focusing on their main career and getting a 10% raise. That would have been $4,000 per year with 0 extra hours. Here's what makes this particularly insidious. The side hustles feel entrepreneurial. They feel like progress. But they're actually preventing real progress because they're distracting from the foundation work. What's foundation work? It's building skills in your main career, it's creating an emergency fund, it's eliminating high interest debt, it's developing a network in your industry. These things aren't sexy, they don't feel like multiple income streams. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Every successful person with multiple income streams built them from a position of strength, not desperation. They had a solid primary income first. They had savings, they had skills, they had leverage. Then they diversified. The psychology here is about security seeking. When we feel financially insecure, we want to add more income sources immediately. But that's backwards. You build security through depth first, then breadth. Here's an analogy. Imagine you're building a house. You wouldn't start constructing the second floor before the foundation is solid. But that's exactly what people do with income. They try to add streams before their primary income is strong enough to support it, and then they wonder why everything feels unstable. The fourth principle is what I call the synergy blindness. This is where most people completely miss the point of multiple income streams. Here's what they think. More streams equals more money. Simple math. One stream gives you 50,000, add another stream, now you have 60,000. But that's not how it works for wealthy people. For them, each new stream doesn't just add income, it multiplies the value of their existing streams. Let me give you a really specific example. Say you're a fitness coach. You have one stream, you train clients one-on-one, that's your income. Now, most people would add a second stream by doing something unrelated. Maybe they start a food delivery side gig, but here's what a strategic person does. They write a book about their fitness philosophy. Does the book make money? Yes, that's stream number 2, but here's what else happens. The book attracts higher quality clients who are willing to pay more. Your primary stream just increased. The book gives you credibility. Now you get invited to speak at events. That's stream 3, speaking income. Those speaking events lead to corporate wellness consulting contracts. Stream 4, the consulting work gives you case studies. You create an online course based on those case studies. Stream 5, people who take your course become clients or refer clients to you. Your primary stream increases again. Notice what happened? Each new stream didn't just add income, it amplified the other streams. This is synergy, and it only works when your streams are related. The fitness coach who also delivers food, those streams compete for time but create zero synergy. The fitness coach who builds related streams, each stream makes the others more valuable. Here's another example. A software developer who also creates coding tutorial videos on YouTube. The videos generate ad revenue. Stream 2. The videos attract consulting offers from companies. Stream 3. The consulting work provides material for more advanced videos. More ad revenue. The videos build an audience. They launch a paid course. Stream 4. Companies see the course and hire them for training. Stream 5. All 5 streams flow from the same expertise, and each one makes the others more powerful. The psychology here is about pattern recognition. Most people see income streams as separate channels. Wealthy people see them as interconnected nodes in a network. Each node strengthens the others. This is why you see successful people with multiple businesses in the same industry. They're not diversifying away from their expertise, they're multiplying it. The fifth and final principle is something I call the timing paradox. This one is subtle, and it's why most people fail at building multiple streams even when they do everything else right. Here's what happens. People try to build all their streams simultaneously. They start a YouTube channel, launch a product, begin freelancing, and invest in real estate all at the same time. And here's what they don't realize. Each income stream has a different timeline to profitability. YouTube might take 2 years to generate meaningful income. Freelancing might pay immediately. Real estate might take 5 years to really compound. When you start everything at once, you're in the painful growth phase of multiple ventures simultaneously. Your YouTube channel has 100 subscribers after 6 months. Your product has sold 5 units. Your real estate property is in renovation hell. You're hemorrhaging time and money across multiple fronts with nothing to show for it. You quit because it's not working. But here's what wealthy people do differently. They build streams sequentially, not simultaneously. They master stream 1, get it to a stable, profitable place, maybe even automate parts of it. Then they use the money and resources from stream 1 to build stream 2. Stream 2 becomes stable. Now they have 2 income streams funding the development of stream 3. Each stream is built from a position of strength, not desperation, not hope. Let me give you a timeline example. Year 1 and 2, focus entirely on primary career, go from 50,000 to 75,000 through skill development and strategic moves. Year 3. With stable income and savings, start a related side project. Maybe consulting in your field. Year 4. Consulting is bringing in an extra 20,000 per year. It's systematized. Now you create a course based on your consulting insights. Year 5. Course generates passive income. consulting plus course income funds, investment in rental property. Year 6. You now have job income, consulting income, course income, and rental income. 4 streams, but they weren't built simultaneously. They were built strategically, each funding and supporting the next. The psychology here is about patience and compound growth. We want everything now. We want instant diversification. But sustainable income streams are like planting a garden. You plant seeds in sequence, not all at once. Because when everything needs water, attention, and care simultaneously, most things die. Now, here's what nobody wants to admit. The entire concept of multiple streams of income has been weaponized to sell courses and programs. Think about it. Who benefits when you believe you need 7 income streams immediately? The people selling you courses on how to start a side hustle, the people with affiliate links to every platform imaginable. They've taken a legitimate principle and turned it into a panic button. You need more streams now, or you're not financially secure. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people would be financially better off focusing obsessively on one income stream for 5 years than dabbling in 7 streams simultaneously. One income stream, deeply developed, with real expertise, will generate more money than 7 shallow attempts. Because here's what happens when you develop deep expertise. You enter the top tier of your field, and the top tier is where the exponential money lives. The top 5% of software engineers make 3 times what the average engineer makes. The top 5% of consultants charge 10 times what average consultants charge. That's not because they work harder. It's because they've developed rare skills through focused attention. When you fragment yourself across 7 income streams, you guarantee you'll never reach the top tier of anything. And here's the really interesting part. Once you do reach that top tier in one area, creating additional streams becomes easy because you have resources, you have a network, you have credibility, you have leverage. The 7 streams aren't the strategy. They're the outcome of having one extremely strong foundation. But that's not sexy to talk about. Focus on one thing for 5 years. That doesn't sell courses. Multiple streams of income in 90 days, that's a headline. Let me tell you about Derek. Derek works in marketing, makes $55,000 per year. He's tired of living paycheck to paycheck. He hears about multiple streams of income. That's what he needs. Security through diversification. So Derek starts hustling. He drives for DoorDash on weeknights, makes about $300 per week. He also starts a dropshipping store, spends $1,200 on inventory and ads, makes about $400 in sales per month. He's trying to build an Instagram following to be an influencer, posts every day, has 800 followers after 6 months. Derek is working 70 hours per week. He's exhausted, he's irritable, his relationships are suffering. And here's what's really happening. His marketing career has stalled. He's not developing new skills, he's not networking, he's not pursuing promotions, because all his energy is going to these side streams. A year later, Derek's income breakdown looks like this. $55,000 from his job, $15,000 from DoorDash, $3,000 from dropshipping, $0 from Instagram. Total income, $73,000. Not bad, right? But here's what Derek doesn't see. He worked 3,000 hours that year. That's 30,000 hours more than a standard full-time job. His effective hourly rate, $24 per hour. Meanwhile, his colleague Sarah, who focused entirely on her marketing career, got promoted. She's now making $78,000 working 40 hours per week. Derek has 3 income streams. Sarah has 1. Derek makes $24 per hour. Sarah makes $37 per hour. But here's the worst part. Derek's streams are fragile. If he stops working, they all stop immediately. He's built a prison, not freedom. And here's what makes this particularly tragic. Derek's stressed about money constantly. Despite having more income streams, he feels less secure because deep down, he knows he's running on a hamster wheel and he can't sustain this forever. Now, let me tell you about Rachel. Rachel also works in marketing, also makes $55,000 per year, also wants more income security. But Rachel does something different. She looks at her situation and asks, how do I become invaluable in marketing? She identifies a gap. Most marketers at her level don't understand data analytics. So Rachel spends 6 months learning SQL and data analysis, takes online courses, practices with real data. She starts applying these skills at her current job. Her campaigns become measurably better because she can analyze what's working. Her boss notices. 8 months in, she gets promoted, now making $68,000. But here's what else happened. Rachel's new skills make her visible. She starts getting contacted by recruiters. She also starts sharing her knowledge on LinkedIn, posts about marketing analytics. No selling, just value. A small business owner sees her posts, asks if she does consulting. Rachel says yes, charges $1,500 for a marketing analytics audit. That's stream 2, but it's directly related to stream 1. It took her 5 hours. The consulting work gives her case studies. She starts a newsletter sharing what she's learning. 300 people subscribe in the first month. She offers a paid workshop teaching marketing analytics. 50 people sign up at $200 each. That's $10,000 for creating one workshop. Stream 3, companies that see her workshop ask if she does corporate training. She does, charges $5,000 per session. Stream 4, 2 years in, Rachel's income looks like this: $80,000 from her main job, $18,000 from consulting, $12,000 from workshops and training. Total income, $110,000. She's working 45 hours per week, not 70. And here's the key difference. Every stream Rachel built amplified the others. Her consulting work made her better at her main job. Her main job provided case studies for her training. Her training attracted consulting clients. She created a flywheel, not a fragmented mess. And here's what's really interesting. Rachel feels more secure than Derek, even though her income is less diversified in terms of types of activities, because her security comes from depth, not breadth. She's now an expert. That expertise is portable, it's valuable, it compounds. Here's what most people don't realize. Multiple streams of income isn't actually about having multiple sources of money. It's about being so valuable in your domain that value flows to you through multiple channels. Think about a river. The river isn't multiple streams. The river is the source. It flows through multiple channels because of the terrain. Your expertise is the river. Your income streams are the channels. Most people are trying to create multiple rivers. Dig here, dig there, dig everywhere, but you only have so much energy. So you end up with a bunch of shallow ditches that dry up as soon as you stop digging. Wealthy people create one deep river, and that river naturally finds multiple paths. This is the reframe that changes everything. The question isn't, how many income streams do I have? The question is, how deep is my expertise? How strong is my foundation? How valuable am I in my domain? When you're deeply valuable, multiple streams happen naturally, organically, without forcing. People want to hire you for consulting. They want you to teach them. They want to invest in your projects. They want to partner with you. You're not chasing streams. Streams are flowing to you. And here's the part that matters most. These streams are sustainable because they're rooted in something real. Your expertise, your network, your reputation. They don't disappear if you take a vacation. They don't require constant hustle to maintain. The people struggling with multiple income streams are trying to force breadth before they've built depth. And that's why it feels like pushing a boulder uphill. Because it is. So let's bring this all together. The fragmentation trap. Splitting attention across unrelated streams prevents mastery. The linear income delusion. Multiple linear streams hit a time wall. Build exponential streams instead. The foundation fallacy. Building streams from weakness creates instability. Build from strength. The synergy blindness. Related streams multiply each other. Unrelated streams compete. The timing paradox. Build sequentially, not simultaneously. Each stream funds the next. These aren't just tactical mistakes. They're fundamental misunderstandings about how wealth actually builds. And here's the thing, you're not going to figure this out overnight. You're going to be tempted to add random income streams. You're going to see opportunities everywhere. That's normal. That's human. But remember this, every time you're tempted to start something new, ask yourself one question. Does this deepen my expertise or dilute it? Does this create synergy with what I'm already building, or does it fragment my attention? Does this come from a position of strength or from desperation? The people who succeed at multiple income streams don't have more willpower. They don't have more energy. They have a better strategy. They build depth first, then they let breadth emerge naturally. And once you understand this, you can't unsee it. The question isn't whether you need multiple streams of income. The question is whether you're building them in the right order.